Okay, we're going 6:05, I'm sorry. Okay, good evening, everyone. It is 6:05, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. Yes. So we got a good agenda going on today. Thank you guys for coming in person. I want to get back to our person, but you know, you guys feel comfortable wearing your mask. If you want to move your chairs, feel free. But thank you for coming back out. I appreciate it. We're gonna go ahead and get started and come up here and pray us in, please.
All right, we're gonna go before the Lord in prayer. You can bow your heads. Lord, we thank you for your goodness, for your mercy, and for your grace. We thank you for this day, the day which you have made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. We thank you for this community meeting, Lord. We ask that you have your way. Please chief this community. Bless our commander here and our captain and those who are in charge. Have your way on tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you.
Robberies were up 7.4%, and the carjackings were down 16.7%. I'm gonna move over to burglaries, and then I'm gonna talk about what we're doing about the crime trend. Burglaries were down 39.2%. Larcenies were up 9.2%, and our motor vehicle thefts were still trending up 10.3%. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of go over what we're doing in the precinct to combat some of these issues. Unfortunately, a lot of our aggravated assaults have a lot of personal partner relationship as well as domestic violence. What we're doing, the commander is bringing over one of the programs that she started, which is our aftercare program where we do outreach. So we had a domestic violence advocate and she left, so we're trying to hire a new one. And hopefully that'll help intervene on some of the domestic violence that's causing some of our aggravated assault to rise. A lot of the sexual assaults, unfortunately, traditionally are often by known offenders, which are someone who lives in the hospital or in the house or a relation. So that's very unfortunate. But we've been working very closely with sex crimes in order to locate and identify the offenders, as well as we have our sexual assault reduction task force, which we're working along and down our corridor. We're very excited about what we think as we kind of get it ramped up and going along. Will definitely make an impact.
Can everyone hear us on Zoom okay? Okay, thank you.
As you notice, as I mentioned, there's a dip in the carjacking. We have a new officer in charge of the carjacking unit, and they have been actually one of the things that we've noticed in the carjacking is there's a lot of false reports, unfortunately. So we've been able to weed out some of those, as well as criminally prosecute people who make false gun reports. But that's not okay to come to Detroit and just say that your car is that you were carjacked. So we've been actively pursuing that.
What's that kind of drugs and then
All kind of different.
Their cars, running the only price, drug for the money, and they give them the car and they get it car.
So hopefully we'll be able, unfortunately, I don't know if everybody heard about, unfortunately, we had a 5-year-old that was shot. Easter Sunday, very, very unfortunate incident. And that person is being charged. So the thing, what we need everybody to know, one of the messages that we have to get out to the community and that's one of the shootings that raised our percentage, is that you have to secure your firearm. So you alone are responsible for your firearm, whether you wearing it in your car, in your house, or whether you not in the room, you're responsible. So, but the good end of the story is that thank God the child is okay, and we think it's gonna make a full recovery. So thank God for. One other thing, we were the 11th Precinct was awarded the Golden Throne Awards. So I'm very excited about that. And what that is, the DEA has a expired older drug take back initiative that they started a couple of years ago. And last year we won. Sergeant Spruce and Dr. Dooley. We this is for 22. 21, we lost at the very last minute. Another precinct, which we will not talk about. Came in 12 came in at the last minute with some heavy, with a box of. The investigation is still pending. The doc and Sergeant Spruce assured it's a victory for your 11th precinct for 22. So thank you very much. Thank you.
The next week, the next take back is the 22nd, on Saturday. We take back any unwanted, expired, or unused pills, only prescription or over the counter. Vet pills, any kind of pills. The idea is, our goal is 500 pounds for the city of Detroit. We won because we were over 25 pounds or something like that, just from this precinct. So every precinct is competing. Wayne State University has promised they're threatening to take us out. Precinct is a little bit concerned because they lost it to 12 and now they lost it to us. Or 11, I gotta be invited, right? And so the other big strategy is Ohio has said, laughs at us every time. Ohio laughs at Michigan. We're third in the take back across the country. Ohio is laughing at us, guys, so we can step it up.
Yeah.
We gotta take out Ohio, but I'm working on that.
And that's about so if anybody has any questions,
Any questions or concerns? On Zoom, any questions? Oh, I see Pat. Pat, I see your hand up.
Yes, hello everyone. This is Patricia Holmes. I have a quick question. You say you're taking back medication, pills. What about vitamins? Old vitamins?
Yes.
Yes.
Any
Okay.
capsules, anything like that. You don't even have to punch them out of the cake, the blister pack. Just bring them to the 11th precinct.
Okay. But you said by the 22nd?
No, on the 22nd. On the 22nd from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m.
Okay, April 22nd. Okay, 10 to 12. Okay, 10 a.m. Okay. All right, thank you.
one last thing I did want to say, and I'd be remiss if I didn't. We are very serious about sexual assault and sex trafficking in this precinct. We are very Detroit Police Department as a whole, but specifically some of the concerning areas in our precinct. If you know anybody who needs help, please have them contact our NPO office and we will be able to reach out to them and hopefully give them some support. So we have resources here that have been asking us for people that they can reach out to. So 596 1118. And so call Sergeant Spruce and our NPOs and we'll be able to give them resources. So hopefully that we can kind of end the circle. Yes, sir.
Yes, Captain, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Now, burglary is down, what, 39%, I heard you say?
Yes, sir.
You know, that's a great accomplishment, that's 40%. Where burglary is down. I know, it's a mumbling word. That's a great accomplishment for the left precinct, just want to put out there.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, very well.
Are there any questions on Zoom? Comment? Anyone in the room? Any questions, concerns, or comments?
I have a question, quick question.
Yes,
Just give me the time again for Saturday, April the 22nd. You said it's 10 a.m. through, I can barely hear you.
2 p.m.
2 p.m. Okay, thank you. That's it.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Andrea Heisem and Dan Blandino.
You go ahead and call me. No, I can't see that part. You talk better out.
All right, so we have Detroit Rewards TV on. We're gonna call Andrea Isom and Dan Blandino from Crime Stoppers. And I have you able to share the screen.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Thank you so very much. I'm going to turn this over. I'm Dan DiBardino from Crime Stoppers. I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself. And we are here, myself and Andrea Isom are here to talk about Detroit Rewards TV. And I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Isom, who can explain the program in detail. It's a great program. It's designed specifically to help continue to reduce crime in the city of Detroit. And I want to have Andrea explain it in detail. We're just supporting it, and we're making sure that people that use it are anonymous as they are in the regular Crime Stopper program. So I'm going to turn it over to Andrea. Andrea, can you hear us? We can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh, okay. I'm unmuted now. Okay. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it. Good evening, everybody. My name is Andrea Isom. I've been a reporter for several years in Detroit in local news for Channel 2 and Channel 7 and nationally for a crime show called Crime Watch Daily. Now I'm working for the city of Detroit in many capacities, one of them as the host and producer of Rewards TV. So like Dan said, in cooperation with Crime Stoppers, the Detroit Police Department, along with the mayor's office, decided they wanted to start an initiative that would be for Detroiters to get involved with helping to be part of the crime fighting solution. So we're doing this by something that's very community-based and very citizen-driven. So when there is a crime that happens, if it's as devastating as a homicide or as no crime is not important, but say something like a stolen bike. I just want to show the range here. We're covering all crimes, whether it's a short story or a very long story, and putting that out on social media. You go to the website, Detroit Rewards TV, or you call 1-800-SPEAK-UP, like Dan said, because we are in cooperation with Crime Stoppers. Through the program, you can earn a cash reward. What's different than Crime Stoppers is if this case moves, if your information, your tip moves the case forward, you can receive a reward on the spot. So that's where the difference lies. It doesn't have to be an arrest. It's if your tip can move the case forward in the investigation. So that's what it is in a nutshell. You go to the website, DetroitRewardsTV.com. You'll find a list of different crimes and what the reward is for information that you may have that's completely anonymous, that you don't have to say who you are, but you'll receive a cash reward for information that moves the case forward. And you can also call 1-800-SPEAK-UP. Tell them you saw it or heard it on Rewards TV, and you can go that avenue as well. We're also featuring high-profile crimes and crimes that are unsolved, and we're doing long-form stories on all social media platforms to give the families an opportunity to share their loss and their loved one with the community, and hope to garner some tips that way as well. So these are current cases, cold cases, cases that have been in the news, cases that you may not know, but we're trying to get the community involved. That's why we're here for the NPO meeting, so that people can spread the word by getting involved with Detroit Rewards TV on your social media, or also on 365, the alert. If you sign up for the alert, you'd also be part of moving the cases forward, going on that app, and you'll find crimes that are specific to your zip code as well. So I hope you guys, if you have any questions, please ask Dan or myself. I'm sure we'll be able to answer them. But this is just another initiative to get the community involved in making the city safer and having families feel some connectability to their case and their detective, and letting everybody know when something happens to someone, it happens to all of us, and who's affected by it, and who we lose in our community, and who's affected by all the crimes that have happened. But again, the police department is doing a great job. Detroit Rewards TV is getting off the ground. Thank you to Crime Stoppers for helping it in this initiative too. And if you have any questions, we're here.
Do we have any questions in person or on Zoom?
I'd like to add something, if I might, to what Andrea just said. I know that there's always questions about how anonymous is our program when you call 1-800-SPEAK-UP, as Andrea said. So let me very quickly say this. When you call that number, that phone call is answered in Dallas, Texas. It is not answered in Detroit at all. When the caller is done giving the information, and as long as they don't give their name, if they give their name, we don't take the information. And sometimes people get angry about that, but we will not take names. First, last, nicknames, nothing. We don't want addresses. We don't want names. We just want the information. When the person provides that information, they're given a 5-digit number. And that's how they're identified through the Crime Stopper system, so that if they do get a reward, they bring that 5-digit number, which they carry in their head, to one of the 3 Comerica banks that we have initiatives with. And they simply have to talk to the bank manager saying, I'm tipster number 12345, and they get an envelope in cash and they walk out the front door. And they can pick that up whenever they feel like it. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, next week, next month, it doesn't make a difference. Every year, last year we received almost 6,000 anonymous tips. Not one of those tipsters, not one, has ever been identified. We don't know who they are. We don't care who they are. We just want the information so we can help our neighbors, our friends, people that live across the street, people that live in our community, so we can bring them some justice, some closure to the issue at hand.
And one last thing, Dan, really quick. I'm glad you said that. Also, I want to point out that, and I want people to understand that, Detroiters to understand how awesome you are, because so many times people don't even collect the money. They just want to do the right thing. It's not, I mean, that is an incentive, but Detroiters and Michiganders are amazing people, because so many times they don't even want to collect. They just want to do what's right. And they want to get it off their heart and conscience. And like Dan said, get justice to the loved ones who have lost so much.
That's correct.
You got a question? We got a question here. Can you stand up, please?
You know, what's the time frame of when you make a report to seeing a result from the report?
The time frame, thank you for your question, man. The time frame is simply how long it takes the appropriate investigating officer to investigate the matter with the tip they have that he or she was given by us. Sometimes it's as quick as 24 hours. Sometimes it takes several weeks. It just depends on the complexity of the case and how quickly the police officer or the investigator can get to it and get it done. But they try to make it, the Detroit Police Department is great at pushing these things out as quickly as they can so that they can solve the case as well.
So when I go and make or contact you to make the report, you disperse it to the district or area that the concern is?
Yes, we have a contact in each precinct, and we send that information daily to that particular contact within the police department, and they disperse it based on whether it's a sex crime or homicide or robbery, whatever it happens to be. But it's dispersed from us almost immediately.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any questions on Zoom? Okay, thank you both so much. I appreciate your participation. Thank you for sharing that information with us.
You are welcome. Thank you, everybody. Have a safe night, and good night, Miss Andrea Isom.
Good night. Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Before we get into some more of our speakers, I'm gonna give you guys a couple of things. Last month, we collected $105 because we stuffed Easter eggs, our Easter egg, the Easter egg hunt and wellness fair that we had Saturday. So I collected $105 and that filled over 1,100 eggs. We were some stuffing fools, I tell you. I did with them little eggs, it was enough to cry. We got it done. So I want to say thank you to you guys, because I really appreciate your help for just even contributing, and then for all the volunteers that came out. So thank you, everybody, for your participation in that. Did a super job as always with Officer Robinson and Nichols and Williams and Sergeant Spruce. And so thank you guys, as always, for putting together a good event. We have a team summit coming up tomorrow at Farwell. You wanna get our team?
Don't get up.
Okay, so the summit, the topic of this summit is selling to minors, not on my watch. It is going to be at Farwell tomorrow, and it is going to be from 5 to 7 o'clock. Our explorers are getting ready to come in, and they're gonna talk about this, which is, I think is amazing. Just when I got involved in it, I was just so overwhelmed. So it don't take much for me to get all teary-eyed. So I was just like, oh my God, look at these kids. It's amazing what they're doing and how people do our team, whether they're here in the city, mostly, how they slide them stuff, give them stuff, don't ask for ID. So I think this is going to be an amazing event, and it is tomorrow, along with Dr. Dudley, who's always here and doing something with us. We appreciate you so much for everything. So would you guys like to talk about not on my watch?
They're coming, the rest of them, they're coming. Here they come.
Okay. And this is only just a very few of our explorers, just a few of them.
Trying to hide the back.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what to say. When you talk about bringing the ears, these kids have been absolutely phenomenal. And they titled this Not on My Watch because one of the things that with our officers they've done is to go out and do what are called compliance checks. And what they did was to identify those gas stations that were around schools, because we kept getting reports around schools indicating that they're selling and vaping and nicotine to our kids. And so the kids went in undercover with, backup and support. And unfortunately, and the thing that really just sort of devastates us is that 73% of the stores that they went to, even some asking for ID, sold to the kids. All right, so these are some of our youth that went out. And so they decided that they want to, bring the gas station owners into a town hall, bring our community into the town hall. Because the other things that we're seeing, they're vaping because they see parents vaping, or they vaping because they're seeing other adults in the community vaping. And so part of what we're going to do is to tell you what they found, show you a video of, what they did, and then ask you, what are you going to do about it? Because one, it's up to you and us as adults to take the responsibility. And I don't know, Alasia, if you want to say, she's going to be our spokesperson, Sergeant Alasia Price. If you want to say a few words, there's a flyer. Come on, you were practicing all day.
Oh, yes. So tomorrow is our town hall meeting for Not on My Watch from 5 to 7 p.m. It will be nice if you guys can come out and see what we have put together for the community.
Anybody that went out and you want to share a few words on what that was like?
Hey, I'm Lieutenant Barbara. I've been an explorer since I was in sixth grade. I'm a senior now. It was low-key heartbreaking going out there. You didn't see no black people selling to us. So they come into our community to sell to our kids because they want to sell to their own kids. And so if somebody who was a different skin tone went in there and tried to buy a picture, they wouldn't sell it as easy as they sold it to us. So it was something to see. It was. We made jokes about how the police had us up there snitching. but it was eye-opening because we always hear from the adults about how they come into our communities and just do anything. And you see it. The 2 days we went out to do it, you saw it in action. So it was good to be able to see with our own eyes instead of just hearing about it. Well, look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow.
We are part of, we've partnered with the police department and the explorers. They're part of what's called the substance use prevention efforts that we have in this precinct. We have targeted 3 zip codes. This is one 4234, 4205, and 4203. They're high-risk zip codes, but some of the things that we're seeing some decline. But the thing that's so much more important is prevention with our youth. And if our kids are telling you the story, our question to every single person here, to our representatives, to our commissioners, to everybody here, what are we going to do about it? Anybody else? Right.
So that this for everybody's edification that will not be unfortunately here tomorrow. Everyone who did sell was issued a misdemeanor violation. It's not, I don't know, it's not right. So it's just, we are enforcing that. Is what we're gonna be doing.
And the thing is, they asked for ID, saw the ID, because the kids were honest, showed them the ID, and still they stole.
What was the last zip code?
48205, 48203.
Okay.
And so there are flyers. We hope you come. There's a scan code on here if you want to register. If you forget to register, come anyway. All right, because it's so important, one, for our kids to see you and to hear their story. It's the story that's coming from our kids.
And it's citywide too, not just these precinct zip codes that you heard. Citywide, everybody's calling about it. Everybody's trying to hire the explorers to go out and do some undercover work.
But our plan to move, especially through our 3 zip codes, we also plan to move throughout the city because it's not just happening on the east side of Detroit. So one, we have to hold all of our community accountable. And if you want to, profit in our community, then you need to be responsible in our community as well.
Do we have any questions? Yeah.
Captain Johnson, you said that that chairs along with the violation is a misdemeanor. Yes. So what is a misdemeanor? That
Misdemeanor is less than 92 days, and it's usually accompanied by a fine. But we also subsequently to that either escalate fines and or penalties, and then that also comes into your life thing that we have to remove people's life. So we are very serious. I don't want to give away everything that's happening tomorrow, but we are very serious on this priority issue, and we will be doing enforcement. Again, I'd like to thank the kids for doing a great job.
So you do a follow-up after you find them? You do a follow-up visit?
So, NPO, D-Rob has personally delivered an invitation. We like to call it an invitation. We call it an invitation. He delivered personally an invitation to all of the business owners who were in violation, as well as the ones that were in compliance, the ones that we visited, but especially the ones that were not in compliance, so that we can have a nice conversation tomorrow, and that they can see who they're affecting and what they have to do about it.
So if they don't come tomorrow, what happens? Thank you.
So can I chime in?
Yeah, please.
So we do have a database, and we're keeping track of everybody that failed the inspection as well as the ones that passed. And so we're not just gonna go after the people that didn't do what they were supposed to do, but we want to make sure that we identify the positive parts through the ones that actually did. But if they didn't do what they were supposed to do, if they're not coming to try and be a part of the solution, then I mean they'll continue to be a problem. And then we do have resources, and we've been meeting with NPOs across the city, and we have a plan in place, as Captain said.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna you know what? I have a problem with that. This was out in the suburbs,
if they found out they done this kind of stuff to our black, to their children, there would be a padlock on their door. They would have to go to court. They would have to go to court. They would have to go get that business back open. There's a woman, Westchester and all this. Why do you guys get check the door? And let them say, look, sell it to our children. They're gonna check it, no, then you get downtown.
There's a process that we have to go through. There's still.
Well, y'all know a whole lot of process.
Then they go in and padlock the store. What they did, and they will be given stipulations that they have to follow. If they go back out there again, they such these kids and there's things will be escalated. We just can't go out there the first time and padlock their doors.
I don't see why not, but it's not black children.
That's the law, man. I don't write it. I'm just trying to support.
They did something like that. They put padlock on it.
So you know, it's a escalating thing. So how it works is the person that actually sold, they get a misdemeanor ticket on the spot. As well, the owner of the store, they potentially could get fined not only by the city of Detroit, but also by the state. And so the state, they're partners in this as well. And so everybody who has a voice, they'll be there tomorrow, and you can ask. You know, some of them are even on this call here on the Zoom. And so this is a collective effort. And so we're just trying to get everybody together. And you know, we can't cry about what the problem is. We can cry about how we could fix it. And so that's what it's all about. And then we'll, like Amanda said, and we'll lead up to that. So that's what the whole purpose of this is. Because any educators in here? Because we got a lot of schools. We get a call probably about every week about some kid, and this citywide, about some kid being caught with vape as young as some of our elementary school kids. And so we have to do something. So we got to be creative. We got to use our kids because they got stories as well what they share with us. And so all we need is the support from everybody in our community to stand behind these kids and to stand behind all our people to make the rules so that we can do the right thing so that we can have people know when they come in the city of Detroit, they can't get away with things that they have been getting away with. We're gonna change the culture. That's what this is all about.
And recognize, we're not just talking about our stores. Our kids, when we ask our kids, where are they doing it? Where are they getting it from? It's not just in school, it's in our neighborhoods. You can walk down the street and see people vaping. All right, we are called into schools and middle schools saying that the kids have brought it from where? Home. So our accountability has to be with everybody here, spreading it through the community and saying, not on my watch, and making sure holding our families, ourselves accountable. It also impacts our ability to continue to do prevention because the more stores that are in non-compliance, we lose prevention dollars. You know, so that's why the Love Detroit Prevention Coalition, the Youth Connection, and coalitions across the city are working hard to look at how do we reduce substance use and substance use among our youth.
That's one of the things that I'm done. This school, a friend of mine, daughter go to school, granddaughter go to school in Taylor. She got caught with, they put her out of school, she can't go back to school no more. And another girl got caught in one with a paper, someone I know, they put that kid out, that kid can't even go back to that school anymore.
But see, that's a problem. Kids need to be in school. And so we're working with all the schools. We're looking in school suspension, education, understanding the impact of vaping. All right, kicking our kids out of school, what does that do? It cuts off their future. You know, it cuts off all the things that they're eligible for. And so part of what we need to do is how do we address it? We're in the school now. We're providing vape training. They're calling us all the time and we're doing presentations for the entire school. Our kids may not understand the impact, and our kids tomorrow will tell you what the impact of vaping is, because they're vaping not only nicotine and other carcinogens that are in the vaping paraphernalia, but they're also vaping THC.
We don't tolerate those two schools that I know. We don't tolerate it.
Madam President, my question to you is, are you making available to the public the names of these violators?
Were we giving them the name of the stores? That sold? I don't know.
That should be put out there.
We didn't plan that at that time, but that would be something I guess we have to figure out, because one of the things we're doing is we're still gonna go back after and inspect everybody, and we want them to be so on their toes so that they're always thinking that we're inside watching them. So we will.
We're creating cleans that the kids design. To go into the stores and say, not on my watch. It's on one of the top of one of our flyers. The kids design the clean. Meaning that it's gonna be something they can put in the window that they won't sell to minors. All right, so our goal is the more stores that have it, one, to look at it positively. Two, to look at the fines and whatever the sanctions are. Educate the stores about what they're doing, let them know we're watching and our kids are watching. And so our goal would be then that 73% that's sold will dramatically increase. If it doesn't, then we look at other steps. That's what you can bring up tomorrow. If we're asking you to get, the kids are saying, what are we gonna do about it? That may be your recommendation, and all the recommendations we will take back and talk to the powers that be about how do we address it. So I mean, we have two recommendations here. Come tomorrow and tell us, right? You know, so y'all give us a name tomorrow? Nope. We have 36 districts.
Yeah, we got Mr. Merlin, Mr. Merlin and Judge Hanukkah.
Evening, Mr. Martin, Chief Judge McConaughey. Thank you both for joining.
Good evening, Kim. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
I think I lost the chief. His phone was dying. I was trying to chime in.
You in trouble. You in trouble. You didn't drop the chief.
Yeah, I'm trying to reach him back, but just wanted to chime in and say what you guys are doing is incredible, and we will be a part of the town hall meeting tomorrow. We will be there, chief and myself.
Thank you.
To support the 11th Precinct. We're always here for you. Let me try to reach him one more time. We also have one of our newly appointed judges, Judge Christina Kennedy online, and I want her to speak as well, but let me try to.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Hi, I'm Judge Christina Kennedy. Thank you all for having me today. I'm in communication with the chief. He has low battery power, and so he had to log off. I did just text him to see if he could hop back on. I'm not sure if he'll be able to join us tonight, but thank you for having me. Just wanted to say hello and introduce myself. I am recently appointed to the 36th District Court bench. Governor Whitmer appointed me in the late summer, early August of 2022. I started out working on the traffic docket. They quickly moved me from traffic to landlord tenant. And so I've been working on the landlord tenant docket since January of this year. I actually grew up in the 11th Precinct. So, I'm happy to be here. I'm definitely Detroit homegrown. Grew up on the east side, obviously, and attended Wayne State, Detroit College of Law, worked for the City of Detroit Law Department. I had my own practice for a while. I've seen some of you at City Council. I served as the City Council liaison for some time. And again, just recently appointed. So I'm very happy to be here tonight. Thank you all for having me. And if there are any questions, those will probably be best addressed by the chief, but I am here for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions? Zoom. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna stay logged in for a while. I'm just going to mute myself and turn my camera back off.
Okay, sounds good. Thank
You got a
you.
question in the back?
And I'm going to also put it, since we do have just a couple of explorers up here as well. That on April the 1st, they had what we call their 50th sneakers ball. It was so awesome. And they looked so cute. And they were dressed up, but they had sneakers on. And it was the cutest thing. It turned out wonderful. And with that being said, so they had it at the Carpenters and Millwrights Union. It was from 4 to 8. But the chief actually presented them with, because they just phenomenal in everything that they do. They're going to stand and be at the Grand Prix this year. They're going to be at the Golf Classic this year. They're going to be at the NFL Draft next year. And they're gonna participate with, I think it's the next graduating class. Next graduating class. So I give all my kudos to these young kids. But they're right for trying to be the best that they can be. And it's so awesome. And I just thank them so much for all their hard work and everything that they do. I appreciate them. No matter what, I need some explorers. These ladies and me and gentlemen are here. They always picking up the slack. They always helping up, set up, serve, knock down, whatever we need them to do, they're always here.
And they don't get paid, they volunteer.
Exactly.
I'm paying them this summer.
Doc, look, we go with Doc.
The other thing to be extremely proud of, last year, Alasia went with us to it, and Dalen went with us to an international conference, it's called TACA. And the substance use prevention coalitions from across the world were there. And our kids presented to a standing ovation. They were absolutely incredible. We are gonna take them, we're gonna take about 6 of the explorers again this year. They're not presenting, but they're going so that they can learn about substance use prevention.
The commander's going too.
It's a way in which these kids can learn from others. My goal is to see to it that several of our kids are also going to be captain trainers so that they will be training internationally.
So if you have a kid that's the age of between the ages of 10 and 19 and want to become an explorer, one of the Detroit Police Department's premier programs, just reach out to your local police department. And you guys are here, reach out to me and we'll get your kids squared away.
And I'm going to introduce Ms. Coleman as one of my staff. And she's been working with the explorers directly, and she'll be working with them this summer around substance use prevention.
So before we let them go, do we have any questions on Zoom or in the room? Okay.
No, that's this.
No, that's not. Okay. Yes, but thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, this Thursday, the 11th Precinct will be hosting the Board of Police Commissioners meeting. That meeting is this Thursday, April 13th. And that's gonna be at King David, right here at Nevada and Sunset. Right down the street. And that will be at 6:30. Come out, please come out, show your support, number one, and let's talk about any concerns or issues that we may have. Okay, that is this Thursday, 6:30. Just a FYI, don't forget your tax deadline is April 18th this year, not the 15th. Because it falls on a Saturday, not the 17th, because there's some kind of something going on, but they're gonna make it on the 18th. Holiday. Yeah, right. A DC. Yeah, so that's why they put it to the 18th. So, and then also, tonight I'm gonna be raffling off 4-ring doorbell. And what I did, we had a round 1, which was the very first time we did this, and then we had a group 2 that emailed us for our next go round. I took those and I just combined everybody together. And I will pour these out to make sure you all know that everybody included that participated is in this bag. And so after, not after the meeting, but just before our meeting end, we're gonna pull these names of the people that actually emailed me and said, hey, I wanna participate. So we're gonna do 4-ring doorbells today. And when you do that, we're gonna leave them here and you can pick them up. And you can pick them up from the community relations. And Sergeant Spruce will give me a time and you guys will be able to come and pick them up if you're a winner. Also, we talked about it last month. anyone or whoever, whatever community member brought the most people to the community meeting tonight, whether they're on Zoom or whether they're in person, will get a $25 gift card, a Visa gift card. Okay, so would you? And we may do it next month. But what I want you to do, I don't want this to be just a one-time thing. When they come, I need you to kind of let them know. If I understand you may not come every meeting, but you need to come. Right. Don't gripe and complain to you or anybody else, and you don't come here your own self and gripe and complain. So do your own griping and complain and participate, know your officers, do different things in the community besides gripe and complain. Right. And I guarantee you it'll work out really good for you, okay? So let's do that. I think we're good. Is that Chief Judge McConaughey name I see up there? Am I looking at that right? I see Judge. Was that the other? Okay, that was okay.
We have Kayana Sessoms on. And we have.
Let's go to Kiana. Hi, Kiana.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Can you all hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So yes, I do have a couple of announcements. Just want to thank you all for engaging in your 11th Precinct community meeting. All of this great information is wonderful. And just the Explorer program, it was so great to hear. Look forward to that forum tomorrow. So upcoming, as you all may have heard already, Motor City Makeover for District 3, which is the citywide beautification effort. In our district, we are scheduled for Saturday, May 6th, for our designated cleanup and beautification day. This year, we are partnering Motor City Makeover with our Flower Day cleanup, our Flower Day beautification efforts, which basically means is that when you sign up with your community group and block club and identify the area that you are seeking to clean up, you can also register to receive flowers. So this initiative, as it relates to flowers this year, is pretty big. The mayor is very excited. I think across the city, we have a total of 90,000 flowers that we will be planting. And so we are needing groups to sign up, partner with your local schools, community groups, churches, businesses, to ensure that we can put these flowers to great use. And that not only can we clean up our blocks, but also ensure that we are beautifying our neighborhoods to reflect what you see and a desire for your community to look like as well. So the pickup for supplies, once you register, you'll be given this information, but the pickup for supplies is May 3rd from 4 to 7 at Farwell. You can't just show up at Farwell on May 3rd if you have not registered. You'll need to register online at detroitmi.gov, or you can also call to register if you are unable to go online. You can call 313-224-4415. Again, you can call 313-224-4415, and that's to register for Motor City Makeover. I also want to add the pickup for the flowers is going to be a separate day from the pickup of supplies. As it relates to the logistics of the whole flower giveaway, it's going to be at another location, very similar to how we've done Flower Day in the past. But you'll be picking up flowers from Northwest Activity Center on May 5th, the day before Motor City Makeover. And so just wanted to share that. The time has not been announced as of yet. Once you register, that information will be sent to you, and it will be confirmed when you pick up your supplies on May 3rd at Farwell Recreation Center. Second, I just wanted to share, as you all may have noticed, yard waste was started back last week. Just a friendly reminder, your yard waste can be put 6 feet from your trash. It should not be mixed in with your bulk. And it should be out for collection by 7 a.m. that morning, but no later than 24 hours in advance. If you're doing some sort of construction work on your home or remodeling something in your home, that cannot be put at the curb for pickup by GFL. You can call your Department of Public Works. They are able to come out to give you a free quote on what it would be to remove any construction debris. So that would be like drywall, remodeling materials, wood, anything that equates to and shows that you've been remodeling something. And they will be able to give you a quote, and you can go ahead and pay that, and they'll remove it sometimes even the same day. So we're really encouraging that now that the weather is nice. People are doing their home projects, wanting to do things that can beautify their the inside of the home as well as the outside. So if you're wanting to find affordable cost rather than getting a dumpster, the DPW paid pickup service is something that we encourage, and it seems that, you know, I've used it many times, but I've heard great things from residents that they enjoy using it as well. So you can call the Department of Public Works to request for that quote at 313-876-0004. Again, it's 313-876-0004. Also want to add, we're going to talk a little bit about speed cushions. There's going to be about 300 new speed cushions installed this season. And so I think that there's over 25,000 requests made. And so far, 9,800 have been installed. You have until April 27th to opt out of a speed cushion if you do not want a speed cushion on your street. And if you're seeking to find out more information, you can go on to the Detroit Public Works page on detroitmi.gov and go to the opt-out for speed cushions on your street if that's something that you would like to do. If you're having trouble, you can feel free to give me a call and I can walk you through that process or look that information up for you. My number is 313-348-8464. And I just have two more things I want to add. A lot of you may have heard about the sidewalk program that the mayor had announced. Block clubs, churches, and community groups, there'll be $25 million going into the sidewalk replacement program. Just this year, the expansion of the sidewalk program, we're looking to replace 70,000 damaged or missing sections of sidewalks. That's huge. It's very exciting. The mayor was really excited about this initiative because we really are wanting to ensure that the sidewalks around our communities are safe. So if you have submitted a sidewalk in the past, that sidewalk, that particular request should be met within this initiative. If you have a tree that's within the city berm that has uplifted your sidewalk and damaged it, that would meet the requirements as well. You can contact my office, or you can also contact DPW to learn more about the program. They will be, and they've already started measuring sidewalks already. I believe they started last week. So we're just excited to get the program up and running. But you must request your sidewalk online if you have not reported it already. It's not a program where if the city goes to see that there are sidewalk sections missing that they will be replacing. It's something you have to petition for, similar to speed cushions. So if you have not petitioned your sidewalk yet, or even if you're unsure, please go online, fill out the request so that can be filed into their system. Second, I just want to also remind everyone, those of you that have youth or work with young people, GDYT is our program for the summer initiative for employment. It provides meaningful engagement for youth ages 14 to 24. The applications are open for placement. If you're seeking to enroll one of your children, grandkids, neighbors, feel free to go ahead and fill out that application that's online. You can also call 313-664-5575. And lastly, we have a new program, the Down Payment Assistance Program. If you all have not heard, if any of you are renters and seeking to become first home owners, there is an initiative that will provide you with up to $25,000 for your down payment to become a new home owner. Once you have identified a lender, which you've been approved for a mortgage and you found a lender, you can contact the program that we're partnering with to register for their assistance. There's 13 lenders ready to help Detroiters find a new home. So that number is 313-244-0274. And lastly, we're excited to announce that we are partnering with the Explorers for a cleanup around Cranes Woods. We've identified a school that we will be hosting a cleanup on the 29th. Yeah, the 29th of April from 9 to 1. We'll be doing a cleanup and we'll be doing a cleanup, and we are seeking to ensure that the partnership with the Explorers, understanding the history of Cranes Woods, and our Block Club partners, just excited to ensure that the cleanup is successful. If you all are seeking to participate, we're happy to have you engaged and involved. Feel free to reach out to Officer Robinson. He has a flyer that he can share with you. And we just thank you for the partnership.
I hate to put you on the spot, Kiana, but did you put a lot of those numbers in the chat so people could grab them?
I will. I just didn't get a chance to while I was speaking. I'll put all of that information in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I think we have a couple of questions
Yeah,
for
I would
you.
like that.
Okay.
I would like to find out. We had the trash where they put it out on the street, taking out abandoned house, put it on the street. They picked it up, and then now they removed it from the front. We had the people to come out and pick it up. They moved it from the front and it's on the side now. They are continuing to take stuff out of this abandoned house. How can I go about trying to get that trash removed? Because I'm tired of we seeing rats and everything in our neighborhood. Ooh.
Yeah, so great question. Thanks for bringing that up. If you could provide me with an address, I can go over to take a picture and look. I think the most important thing is to understand the ownerships. A lot of people are doing rehab around the city, going in and cleaning out houses. Sometimes it could be the Detroit Land Bank that's cleaning out the house, prepping it for sale. Just need to get a little bit more information about that particular parcel, and then we'll know exactly how to direct that pickup, the process of picking up that debris.
So I have a question. So regardless if it's the land bank or whomever, shouldn't they have a dumpster? I mean, it shouldn't be put out on the street anyhow, but
they just keep putting it out.
Do I not understand that correctly?
Yeah, well, it really just depends on what their cleanup process is. Okay, so there's some contractors that will pull everything out and then they will have everything removed following what they've cleared out of that part that house. I can't really speak to exactly what this particular situation is because I don't know. But they don't, so it just, they get dumpsters for clearing out certain, processes of the demolition. Not always, if it is a house that's getting rehab, they may not get a dumpster depending on what type of debris that they're pulling out. So it, the circumstances are just variable to the situation. But we don't even know if this is a city property, right? This could just be someone who's rehabbing the house and they're not properly removing the materials.
I can give the address and everything, and then I have a license plate that I taken off of a car that would bring the people over there to remove the trash and put it across the street where I'm talking about.
So that it just sounds like an illegal dumping situation. So they're taking debris out of a house and putting it on the curb, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's an illegal dumping situation. So
And I have the license plate and everything.
okay. So the license plate we would go ahead and give to our 11th precinct so that they could follow up with that particular piece. And I could take the address as it relates to the location of the debris. So we would just work together to really ticket that individual who's dumping, so that they know that there are people watching and that their behavior is not appropriate. And then removal of that debris that you're speaking of.
All right, and another question I have. How many cars do a person supposed to put in their yard, like boats and cars and stuff? A whole lot of washing machine, all of that in a yard. How much stuff can you put in a yard in a resident area?
Okay.
And I know that's their property, but I live next to it.
So this is what you'll have, we'll have Sergeant Cruz, so get your information and we'll make sure we check your whole your street to make sure that everybody's in compliance.
All right.
So what we don't want to have is we don't want to have rat harborages. My wife asked me the same thing. She said, how many cars you gonna put in the driveway? So I guess it's dependent on where you are. So we'll make sure that if those cars are. So we'll come out there and look and make sure that we get everybody get them straight together, especially, and thank you for being astute enough to get the license plate, because that definitely helps us with our investigations. Holding people responsible is what we do.
Okay, do we have any questions for Kiana? Yes.
I thought it would be a fine to put this up on the street without a dumpster, without getting the dumpster.
Well, I guess that's what they're gonna do, investigate, and I guess give them out a fine for what she's saying, so, yes. Because I know I had to have a dumpster, so that's why I thought it was just everybody, but I guess if you just trying to hurry up and do what you need to do and throwing it out and get the heck out of here.
But if you put the people's house, put them out of their house, I guess they lost out of their or whatever.
Okay.
People come in our neighborhood and clean the house out.
Right.
And put stuff on the street.
They supposed to put it in the dumpster.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
They're supposed to get a dumpster, or the other option is a Detroit City's paid pickup service where you can put your debris at the curb and they'll pick it up without it going into the dumpster. And that's a cheaper option. So that's the alternative. But ideally, if you're not getting a paid pickup, you would need a dumpster.
Right.
We have another question. You have a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh.
It says,
Yeah.
on the yard waste, we recently had 2 or 3 bad storms to knock down branches, limbs and things. I put them on the street. And GFL has come through and rolled right by the branches.
They're not going to pick those up. If you could send them to me, because GFL's contract is only to pick up 2 inches in diameter as it relates to twigs, if they're out and they need to be bundled. There hasn't been any sort of order as it relates to just go ahead to pick up all of the large branches and debris that have dropped from the storm. That's something that we'll have to request, and the city would be picking that up, not GFL.
So the second question is DPW, do they have a regular schedule to pick up bulk? When you say bulk, will they pick up branches? Should they pick up the branches that are out there?
Most definitely. So
in a pile on the street.
So the pile they will not pick up. Branches and anything of yard waste needs to be bundled or properly packaged at the curb. So yard waste in bulk is picked up bi-weekly. So if you're not sure when your yard waste or bulk or recycling, I forgot your recycling, is picked up, you can get that information text to your cell phone as a reminder of when your yard waste, recycling, and bulk trash day is. And so, but if you are not putting out your tree limbs or branches out correctly and they're not bundled and they're over 4 feet long and 4 inches in diameter, they will not pick up, unfortunately. But that's something that we can work on as we're approaching Motor City Makeover, as well as we're approaching, just cleanup efforts throughout the year. If you can communicate with our office, the Department of Neighborhoods, we can work to get that, addressed or picked up. And especially if it came from a city berm tree. If these are branches outside of the back of your home or a tree that fell on the side of your home, those would be the homeowner's responsibility. But if these are from city trees, we are definitely responsible for picking those up.
Okay, so let me say that none of these branches are coming from my property, it's from the city's property. Not from between the sidewalk and the curb, but from the lots. I try to keep these lots clean. I don't think I should have to cut these branches into 4-foot length branches or what. And I don't know about the diameter. It's just that they need to be removed.
And so we
can
can
bundle all that up if I'm doing this on the city's property. I've got 5 lots I'm trying to keep clean that are city lots. They're not mine. But I want to make sure that everything around my area is clean. Decent. I can't get the help from the city.
Well, that's not what I'm saying by any means. I definitely want to be able to assist you and first want to say thank you. And so what you can do, and anyone else in this room who may have a situation that is similar, when you're running into a pickup as it relates to something that you've cleaned up, or that you're planning to clean up on your block that's outside of Motor City Makeover, please communicate with our office so that we can arrange for a pickup. If we don't know that you're doing something, we can't be supportive to making sure it's addressed. So if we're communicating, which is why the initiative of having block club captains and just partnerships with residents is so important, for ensuring that we're understanding what's going on, what support's needed, and how we can help. So if you can call my office tomorrow, 313-348-8464. You can feel free to text me the pictures, send me the location, and I can go ahead and get that together, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, any more questions for Kiana Sessa?
Well, can I say something, Ms. Sessions, on your behalf, if she can't see me, whatever, on her behalf.
Stand up, she'll see you, stand up.
Hi, Mr. Perry.
She can see you.
Listen,
Magic.
She didn't get it done. Last year when we had the big storm and all of that, a lot of men on our blocks, which is Keystone, Conley, and Pitlock. I mean, you couldn't get your cars. The guys came out of their homes and they sawed it all up and everything, and we just piled it where we could pile it. I got a hold of her. I told her our situation. I sent her pictures of what we were talking about. Within a week, it was all gone. I was so proud of her, and when you have to go to somebody and she has the authority to do it, not have the authority, do it, and she did it. So I just wanted to.
Thank you.
It'll get done.
Okay, thank you.
We do our best.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I'll go ahead and put that information in the chat. And please register for Motor City Makeover if you haven't already. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day. Good night. Next on our agenda, we have Dawn Ison. Okay, she is with the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District. Thank you for attending this evening. Appreciate you. Thank you. Actually, I am the U.S. Attorney.
Hey, yeah.
I'm quite proud to be here. I'm sitting here in this Community Relations Council meeting, and I've been trying to get to the 11th precinct. I've been in the 9th a lot, I've been in the 8th a lot, because those are our two hot spots. I want to tell you a little bit about me. I always talk about I'm a daughter of Detroit, but more specifically, I am a daughter of Coney Gardens. And so I still go to church here. Two of my church members are sitting in here right now. And so some of my team is here. Latrell Livingston, our Executive Assistant United States Attorney, and our Federal Community Prosecutor for the 11th Precinct is Diane Prince, and she had baby duty today, and I think she's on Zoom. I saw her name up there for a minute. Latrell was on Zoom, and then he made it over. He had daddy duty too, and then he got over it. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Ms. Jackson, for giving me a few minutes on the agenda. Just want you to know that I am your U.S. Attorney. I am the Chief Federal Law Enforcement Officer in the Eastern District. That includes all of the half of Michigan. That means I represent 6.5 million people, 34 counties. But of course, I am a daughter of Detroit, and Detroit is our largest city in the Eastern District. And so we are often defined by it, and we're doing everything we can to empower communities. But I want you to know this, that sitting here, I am so proud of this 11th precinct, because this is my precinct. This is really truly my precinct that I grew up in. Pershing was supposed to be my high school. My mom was a Pershing, my aunt was a Pershing. It's through and through. I was supposed to go to Pershing, but I went to that other school that I know y'all haven't heard about. I ain't gonna but that's all right. I'm born and bred in the gardens. And I just want you to know some of my priorities if you haven't heard. And we have about 221 people in our office. We have 110 federal prosecutors in the office. I know Diane Prince is your federal prosecutor, and we're doing that so that we can, again, empower communities. And what I hear in this community meeting is, you're working with children. And you're empowering children to take on leadership ability, and they're doing it. They're actually doing what they're supposed to do. What I also hear is you have responsible citizens. What we're asking people to do, I'm not coming in here to say, hey, we're coming in and doing this as the federal government and doing this. We're being transparent about our work. And what I hear is that I hear responsible citizens, because they taking driver's license numbers. They talking about picture of them, and that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what we're talking about. And y'all know I'm appointed by the president, so we come and go. It's going to be a different U.S. attorney someday. If it's not, if Biden don't get elected, just so y'all know, if Biden don't get elected for the next time, I'll be out the door. But that's okay. But while I'm here, I'm gonna use the power that I have. And I hope my legacy is empowering you to know what you can do to improve the quality of your life. And this is a very active, I can tell, precinct, and my executive assistant United States Attorney say, yeah, that 11th precinct has got this stuff together. And so I've been trying to get over here, and I finally was in town and available so that I can get over here. But my priorities in a nutshell are 3 R's. It's rebuild community trust between law enforcement and the community. And that's why you have a community prosecutor in this precinct, and we're in 4 other precincts throughout Detroit. We're doing enforcement, and we're focusing on the most violent offenders, the most violent groups, in the most violent places. But I'm also committed to doing prevention. I'm also committed to having punishment and prevention, and giving kids and adults exposure to resources. My reinvigorate is, one of my top priorities is protecting civil liberties. We prosecute excessive force cases. We work with the police very closely, but we prosecute excessive force cases, hate crime cases, and we also have a civil rights unit that is a model for the nation. We have had a robust civil rights practice in our U.S. Attorney's Office for years, and we have a civil rights unit that has been designated a model for the nation. And so we, in that space, we, for example, if there's a mosque that somebody wants to build in a certain area, and the city of Troy was one of our cases, and they gave them some resistance, then we bring those lawsuits on behalf of those folks. We also do a lot of work with protecting and making sure that people with disabilities have access to all of the things that they can live just like those without disabilities. And so we have a very robust civil rights practice in our office. And so I have added additional resources so that we can do what we need to do to protect civil liberty. So that's reinvigorating our civil rights practice, because as administrations come and go, those resources can be depleted, and I've added additional attorneys to that as well. And the other one is restructuring the way we approach violent crime. And that is, as I said, it's going to be both punishment and prevention, but more than that, it's going to be focused, balanced, and fair. Being transparent about our work. You can tell you, I'll go to the 9th precinct. If you guys haven't heard about our peaceniks we had in the 8th and the 9th precinct last summer, because those are the two most violent areas in the city of Detroit. Still, the 9th precinct and the 8th precinct. And so we focus our enforcement on that, meaning that the most violent offenders, we're targeting them, people with guns, illegal possession of guns, we're taking them directly to federal court instead of bypassing state. And we do that because we want to be focused in the way that we prosecute. We want to be fair, and we're using the data. We're not using any skin color. We're not looking at who they are, how they look. We're using the data to identify people who are violent folks, and we're removing them from communities. But we want the community to be engaged in that process too. So before we even start our enforcement, we come and talk to the Community Relations Council. We did that in the 8th and the 9th precinct, so that you will know exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it and how we identified this, because I think transparency in our work gives us legitimacy. And from that, we also gave the community relations people flyers to let people know that we are here. And that program specifically that I'm talking about once from Memorial Day to Labor Day, but just know that all over Detroit, we're doing this because we have 5 community prosecutors in our in the precincts, as I said. So in addition to that enforcement, talking about removing the violent folks, we have community prosecutors. Diane Prince is yours. And what we were able to do was advance some of those same things you were talking about washing machines in the yards, because we have a top priority of environmental law. And those are environmental law, environmental justice issues. And so we were able to advance a number of things through our summer enforcement last year. There was a burned out, demolished house that was a scene of crime. And we were able to get the city to demolish that house because of us using our advocacy to do that, in addition to the enforcement. And so that is the way that we are operating. That is punishment and prevention. We are also removing violent people in ways such that if we can't get them in some cases, and I always give this example, we had 2 guys who were alleged to have murdered folks. We had eyewitnesses who said they did, but those eyewitnesses didn't show up at state court. And so, but we were able to make federal cases out of it. And it might not have been for murder. One, I think, was a gun. Another was for, because even these violent folks are engaged in all this PPP fraud, the COVID fraud. We were able to get them on those charges and know it wasn't for what they really should be convicted of, but we got them off the streets. We got them off the streets, and we call that our alcohol approach. Y'all know alcohol killed a whole bunch of people, but he went down for tax. He went down for tax. He went down the tax. We're incorporating some of those same strategies and more, but we are targeting the right folks, the violent folks, the drivers of violence, and we're going after that. And also just trying to have some prevention as well. So let's rebuild community trust, reinvigorate civil rights, and restructure our approach to violent crime, such that it includes both punishment and prevention. I couldn't be more proud to be your U.S. attorney. Just by way of background, I was a criminal defense attorney actually for 12 years. But I was with the U.S. Attorney's Office as an assistant United States attorney for 19 years before I was blessed with this opportunity by President Joe Biden to serve the community I love and I've been born and raised in. And I couldn't be more honored to serve as your U.S. attorney. So please, I'd like to join you in your efforts to improve the quality of life in your community. And this particular community is very near and dear to my heart. So thank you, and I am so impressed with all that you're doing. But know that we walk with you at the U.S. Attorney's Office and doing it. So thank you for letting me have a
Just to USA, 2 of her prosecutors come to her attorneys come to our crime briefing every week, and they were instrumental. I know some of you who were here last year, some of the meetings that we had, we talked about that crime spree of those gangs. It's because of the bridges that they helped us build and connect with Wayne County. That gentleman that was responsible for a lot of the crimes in the 11th precinct was just last week convicted. So that's how it is working already. So thank you.
And I know that Andrea Isom was on, and I just want people always think we're sisters, but I'm ISON. I'm ISON. They asked me if we're sisters or not. I actually don't have a sister. So, but people always put it on it. But I'm very familiar with Dan from Crime Stoppers. He's a great partner as well. And so thank you, Captain Johnson, for that. I appreciate that. And we're trying to do what we can to empower communities, not come in here and take over or run roughshod on anyone, because I'm gonna have to go at some point. But I want you to know what you can demand from the next U.S. attorney and how you can work with the next U.S. attorney and all of those who will come after me. I'm trying to show you what you can have and how you can be empowered as a community. That's my legacy. If I have a legacy, that's what I want it to be. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Mr. Police Commissioner, sir. Yes.
Detroit Police Commissioner.
Get our homework.
Are you ready? Huh?
Why is that the way you got what you have to reading? That's all you are.
You didn't let the darkness, you know everything.
U.S. Attorney, what are some of your most dangerous areas in the city of Detroit, your spots? What are your, what high profile cases have you taken down in the city of Detroit? Are you allowed to say that?
I'll tell you the two hot spots. We, just like last year, they're in the 8th and the 9th precinct. We have 3 spots. We're focusing this summer. We're starting our summer surge. We're already in preparation. It's gonna be announced actually. You wanna know, it's gonna be announced next week. We're gonna roll it out. But, well, no, not that, but the whole violent reduction partnership is gonna be rolled out. But it's the 9th precinct and the 8th precinct. Those are our 2 most dangerous precincts in the city of Detroit. Cases that there are any cases that I can talk about that are done?
Yeah. The carjacking cases.
We just finished a plea of a carjacking. Was that a plea or was that a? What was that? No. I'm sorry. We have some gang cases, we have some carjacking cases, we have the latest cases have been, these carjacking sprees. One of them was, there were 2 guys, they were putting guns on women and they carjacked 3 cars, then they engaged in a police chase, and then they ran into something, and then the guy got out of that car and jumped into another carjacked car they had carjacked and tried to get away from the police and ran from that. And so those individuals either pleaded guilty or was that a sentence? Judy Levy, I think they got 14 years. 14 years. They got 14 years because I was just on a panel with the judge sentenced them, and I was 14 years, so they got 14 years. So that's one case. We have is IGS just hands on? No, that's wrong. IJ, it's just us.
IGS.
Yeah, it's just us. Well, Jim's moving now at agency. I think that was it's getting done. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, can't think of all of them here, but we've had a lot of success with some of the strategies that we've been doing in our office, and working with our state and local partners. We are value partners, and we are here to just work together, and that's what we're going to roll out our One Detroit. I can tell you that it's a One Detroit Violence Reduction Partnership, and it's about just that. But it's not just law enforcement. We're bringing faith-based, we're bringing community-based organizations, and we're bringing all of those people to the table because, again, we are trying to do enforcement, but we're trying to provide wraparound services also. Community relations, Mr. Stokes is on the executive team also for the One Detroit Partnership. And it is this partnership that we're trying to do such that we are not operating in these silos, and we don't know that this person is over here and might be able to help in this way. Because sometimes when you encounter people, you got to treat the family, right? Sometimes you got to treat the people in it because you want to try to keep people from doing something, right? Doing it, right? So, we are bringing all of those to the table. We will be rolling that whole partnership out.
U.S. Attorney, percentage-wise, if you give a percentage on what type of cleanup, what type of accomplishments that you're making and taking down that crime around the city of Detroit?
I cannot give you any percent. I wasn't ready to bring out numbers, Mr. Police Commissioner. I don't have the numbers on me right now. Don't say it. Dr. Dutch.
All right. U.S. Attorney, thank you. At least I tried.
You too.
I am just so excited about being here, and I really appreciate that. So one of the we have been approached by the DEA. The DEA take back, we're working directly with the DEA to make sure that we get the word out about the take back. One of the biggest challenges that we're also facing is the increase in fentanyl in our communities. The DEA has targeted that 48205. One pill will kill 48205 area over there. The challenge is that we're seeing drugs that are being made to look like candy, and our kids are getting hold of them. Fake pills everywhere. The Skittles, the whatever, the fake pills. So what I've been hearing is that if they can track it to the dealer and someone dies from an overdose of fentanyl, they're talking about, charging them with murder. The dealer that sold it to them. Have we seen a lot of those cases?
Let me tell you one thing, that fentanyl is a problem across the country. Because people everywhere are dying from fentanyl, and fentanyl is in everything. So you tell your kids and your people, it's in everything, and people don't even know they're buying that it's in every single thing, and it only takes, I can't even tell you 2 milligrams, how little it takes to kill you. And so to answer your question, we have several death resulting fentanyl cases in our office. I don't know the number quite well, but I want to be quite honest with you. Doctors are responsible for some of this opioid abuse as well. And we just had a conviction in a case with a doctor who continued to give this person opioids, and then he died. And this is our first case against a doctor who are just drug dealers in white coats. Some of them who are engaged in this kind of conduct, they are drug dealers too. They are just drug dealers in white coats, and they engage. So we just had our first conviction of a doctor who had a patient who died as a result of him continuing to overprescribe, because they're so greedy trying to get the money from Medicaid, continuing to overprescribe the medication, and the guy died. And he had OD'd one time before, and then he continued to give him drugs and he died. So that's our first case. That's our first case like that. But we have had numerous cases with doctors, and I'm not trying to criminalize the fentanyl, the black market. That's extremely bad too. But it's all of this opioid kind of abuse that led to this fentanyl, because once you get hooked on the prescription, then you're going for the cheaper stuff. And the cheaper stuff is the heroin and the fentanyl. And so it is an epidemic all over the country. Fentanyl is, and we are putting all of our effort. That is a top priority, and we're using all of our tools, our mandatory minimums, and all of that. We're getting away from some mandatory minimums because some of it led to mass incarceration, and then like MOPEs, on cases, we're getting sentenced to too high. But when it comes to fentanyl, we are still using all of our investigative tools and our toolbox to take folks down, because they know that fentanyl. It's been some in the 11th Precinct. I think they found a couple of bodies of, I remember seeing another, down here, the precinct. They found a young lady in the house. She was, I know, from something else, remember? So that fentanyl will kill. One pill will kill, and it is true. One pill will kill.
We have done Narcan training for every Detroit police precinct, and we've trained over 5,000 people and saved almost 80. Yeah, our explorers have been trained, and one of our explorers was responsible for saving a life. So part of just telling you and the community, we're doing this training online as well as in person, and I could talk to D-Rob about coming up here. We will give you the Narcan, we will replace it if you use it, and we will replace it if it expires. But what she's saying is just absolutely true. If you've got a little pack of Sweet and Low and pour it out on, and look at that, that's enough to kill 500 people if that was done.
It's really, I want to shout out to the team since they're in here now, the Explorer Scouts. We used to have Explorer Scouts in our office, but I'm always thinking of ways in which I can engage with the team. So I'm like, I have Explorers. So I'm going to talk to them, because I need to hear their voices and see what is going on in the communities. I really want to know your voice so that we can see how we can serve you and you can help me.
You're definitely on the list.
Study and trying to go to the schools and talk to some of the students there. We're going to start a program for 5th graders called Project Lead. That's a whole program because they're getting younger and younger, and we gotta try to reach them sooner and sooner. So we're getting a program, actually during the ninth, we're starting in the ninth and the eighth, because there are most, violent communities, but Project Lead is designed for fifth graders, and it's 20 sessions, so we make it down to 8, and we've already secured one school, Pulaski, in the ninth, and we're trying to secure another one in the 8th, but it'll be next fall, but it really deals with a whole bunch of stuff, anti-truism, conflict resolution. And then I'm always a believer in kids can't be what they can't see. And I tell my personal story about my father being murdered when I was 9 years old on the streets of Detroit. My mother was a single mother who raised me here in this 11th precinct. She was a postal worker, and I was mugged right at Keystone and 7 Mile on the day that my grandfather, coming out of that store, he walked up behind me as I walked in, and then I looked. And then I went on in, and when I thought about it later, I was like, he was going to do it then, but then he waited for me to come out of the store and pulled on me, and I didn't even know what he was doing, but I had, if y'all remember those big Mark Buchanan leathers, and they had the big shoulder pads, and so my purse was wedged. It was a Coach bag, and my purse was wedged between my strap was wedged in between there, and I just started fighting him because I didn't know what he was doing. He just literally is when I stepped out. And so I finally, and so then he was like, see? And I kicked him, and then my purse ripped, and all of it came out. And, I say all this, I tell my story. Look, I have family members who struggle with addiction. I have family members who have had brushes with the law. But I say all that so that you know that I'm not giving lip service to any of this. What I'm telling you, my stories are some of your stories. And so I tell you those stories so that you'll know that I am really committed to doing what I can and relating in all ways that I can to improve the quality of life. Right?
That story's a green light now. That story's a green light now.
My grandfather was like a father to me because my father died so young. And my family still lives over here. I got a cousin who lives on Monarch. I got my grandparents lived on Buffalo. No, my cousin lives, no, she used to live on Monarch, but now she lives on Buffalo. But so I'm still of this community. And I'm saying Leslie Coleman and Benita are my church family people here. So I was just in this area on Sunday. So, thank you so much for having me. And I look forward to working.
Okay, I'm gonna grab a couple of, got some more people. Terry Johnson with Commissioner Kinlock. Good evening, everybody. My name is Terry Johnson, and I represent Wayne County Commissioner Jonathan C. Kinlock. I have some information with frequently asked for numbers and stuff, so I got numbers front and back for you. And also what we're working on at this moment is helping with the Treasurer's Office with tax foreclosure. And we have Beverly Hilton here to speak on the Treasurer's behalf. But other than that, if you have any questions for me, that's it for me. It's good to be out. As a matter of fact, when I got the email from Ms. Jackson saying the meetings would be face to face until further notice, I'm like, face to face on Zoom. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna get on out here because it's time to get back into the community and start, being on a more personal level, face to face. So I'm glad I came actually, because this is a very important meeting. And so the number to the office is also on this flyer too. So for the people on Zoom, if you want this information, feel free to call the office and we'll send it out, or I can deliver it to you or mail it to you. And the number to the office is 313-224-0916.
Repeat that number, please.
313-224-0916.
Appreciate you as always. Thank you. You're up, buddy. You're up, buddy. He is around. Don't you hear the nice radio?
Right. All right, hello, everyone. Damian Mitchell, your community liaison for Councilman Scott Benson. And it's an honor to represent you. I think I've been representing you now for a year and like 4 months. I think I'm a lot better than when I started. So I'm gonna leave it on the back table. This is our last newsletter that we put out. We're about to come out with another one now, but it got some information in it, and it's it lets you know all the staff members that work for you on the back. So you got a lot of people that work for this district, and you put us to work and call us. We answer. We are very responsive. Next. Hope application for people that need to get their taxes reduced. This application is great for getting your taxes reduced, but also it's imperative that you do it to get home repair. For New Detroit requires you do the Hope application. The Gilbert Foundation, Home Repair Fund. You know what they look for before you get your home repair? That you did the application. So it's important that you do it at least once so you can even know about the process and tell your neighbors to complete it. So he's been on the back as well. And also, because I've been doing research, I found out that some people may qualify for the NEC tax exemption, which is for certain neighborhoods where you can get 10 to 15 years, like 50% off your property taxes. So Darren Gilbert get it, and you can get it too. So you can, yeah. So it's very imperative that you apply for a lot of the programs, because that's, you can save 10 years off your taxes. I'm sure you can do something great for your house with that money. Yeah.
Save that extra money, you'll need it when you get off.
Yeah, you're right. On the back also, you got your our research guide. We're going to update this at the end of the year. We make sure we check the numbers so we don't give you numbers that when you call it's disconnected or somebody likes that. So all the numbers in here still works. So you are more than welcome to call the departments, and when you can't get
Quietly.
When you can't get through to the department heads, or you can't get through, you call the number, you call us, and we'll make that call for you. We'll get through. We'll make sure we do. All right, last, we have our city council of the whole meeting this next Tuesday. It's going to be at 2nd Ebenezer Church. It's going to be at 7 o'clock. Second Ebenezer. Sorry about that.
Where you from, man? They like, where you grow up at? Wasn't in the 11th Precinct.
So this is going to be at 7 o'clock, and you should get there at around 7, so you'll be able to make public comment. I don't know how, it's up to the president to cut the time off. Sometimes she doesn't go a little extended. But yeah, if you get there at 7, you should be able to sign up so you can make your public comment and address the city council about your issue, which are very important. So that also will be on the back table. We have office of 6 Mile and Gratiot. You always can walk in. People very much so take that opportunity to walk in the office. I'm eating a hamburger. You can walk in and put the hamburger down, bring your hands and handle the other issue. It's your office, Any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Do we have any questions on Zoom? I'm gonna do Zoom first. Hold on 1 second for me. Any questions on Zoom?
We got, let's check.
I see a hand. I see Patricia.
Yes. Where can you get the tax exemption form? What site, or we can pick it up, or what? Where can we get it?
Well, you can get them from City Hall downtown, or you can come to our office on McNicholas, 13560 East McNicholas in the Matrix Center. Yeah, just ask for your city council office.
And you can get it
I believe you
online.
can print them offline also
On the
city's website.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. 13560 East McNicholas. No problem.
You have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Mr. Mitchell,
How you doing?
doing good, man. Put a name with a face with a name. Just, I called you about a month ago on house at East Greendale, 989 East Greendale. I've been getting to run around with the city, and I've been getting to run around with the landlord. They say they sold the house to a gentleman in North Carolina. This house has a roof falling in. The door is open on the side, the window is open. I think this precinct went in to see if there's a body in that house. When I talked last month to the commander. This house. I'm trying to get this house torn down. If somebody will go by and look at this house, they'll know it needs to be torn down. It's right across the street from Hawthorne Park, where the kids are playing, where they're also doing other activities there. It's easy for somebody to be taken out right in that house. 989 East Greendale. Corner of Hawthorne Street.
So what we can do for that is we can send out somebody from DC to do an inspection on that property. And then they'll see what the next steps from DC will do the first.
Okay, so BC, I talked to 2 or 3 different departments down there, and they're jumping me from one department to the other.
Okay.
I need for you to handle it.
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
I appreciate
So
it.
one person will take care of it.
I appreciate it. And your number is in my phone.
Oh,
So I've talked to you. Cool. I appreciate any help that you can give.
All right, no problem.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
He'll be right back.
Oh, she coming back, okay. Commissioner.
Just here, stop. Terminate, you understand?
Here on my back, I am so tired.
Yes, it's still passing by, but I still go after this there. But don't forget, I think I'm.
Are you go? You got the podium.
No.
Miss Beverly, you got the podium.
Thank you. I feel like I want to say thank the Lord for such a meeting. Hello, everyone. My name is Beverly Hilton, and I am your Director of Community and Outreach Engagement for the Wayne County Treasurer's Office. I am so glad we're back in person. Yes. So let's give our cellular a hand. I know she was behind it. I'm glad to be back. I just have one thing that's so important I want to share with you today. In the councilman's office, both councilmen are our partners in foreclosure prevention. Please, 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 no one needs to lose their property to foreclosure. We have a program, and I'm sure many of you have heard about it. I'm going to leave flyers for you. The MyHath program, Michigan Homeowners Assistance Fund, $25,000 grant. You don't have to pay it back, but it has to be a COVID-related issue. If you had COVID, someone in your family died from COVID, you didn't have the money to pay your taxes because you were applying for that. It started out with only tax year 19, 20, and 21. Now they're paying all tax years, all tax years. And the greatest thing of all, you can make up to $90,000. This is the first program, and I've been around a long time. Thank you. That most of the programs were always for the low income person. And now this is a program you can make up to $90,000 for 2 in a household. You can't beat that. You cannot. And so you can apply by going to myhalf.michigan.gov. If you need assistance, you can call 211 or Wayne Metro at 313-388-9799. And you can also get the information off of the Wayne County Treasurer's website.
Speaking of Wayne County Treasurer, I bring you greetings on behalf of our Wayne County Treasurer, Eric Sabree. He does a phenomenal job. I just want to share with you, is he a working man? Yes, not only does he work his staff, he works the entire month of March. We worked 7 days. And on Sundays, we went to churches to make sure people understood this. We represent all of Wayne County. We did tax assistance form, Inkster, E-Course, River Rouge, Highland Park. We come where you are. If you're having a community meeting, we'll come. If you're having anything in the summertime, picnics or whatever it might be, call our office. Matter of fact, my phone number is 313-282-3355. Is my voicemail full? Yes. But if you call me, I will call you back. And people in here know it might be at 6 in the morning and it could be at 10 at night. But one thing for sure, I will get back with you. And so I just want to encourage you, share this with your family and friends. And let me just share with you what it pays for. It will pay delinquent mortgages, delinquent taxes, property taxes, delinquent land contract payments, condominium and association fees, homeowners insurance, hazard, flood or mortgage insurance, utility, gas, electric, water, sewage, and delinquent internet broadband service. It doesn't get better than that. And believe it or not, there are people that still have not filled out this information. And I'm happy to say, we're waiting on the total numbers and it's far lower than it's been in the past, but we've been really working hard. And thank you to all of you for all that you've done to help us and support us in getting the information out. Please, this is Wayne County, and actually anyone in the state of Michigan can apply for these funds. But foreclosures is the best kept secret. I had a lady just call up talking about her issue. And it takes 3 years before we foreclose on property. The first year it's delinquent. And then the second year, I forget the actual term that it is, but the third year, right of first refusal is once your property goes into foreclosure, the state of Michigan, the county, the city of Detroit, and then the land bank have the first right of refusal to purchase that property for back taxes. So it goes to them first. But more importantly, please share this information. As I was saying, the story that I was telling is that the person waited until the last minute to tell her family that she was getting ready to lose her property. We've had people come in and the kids were supposed to be paying the taxes and they lose the family home. But if you come early enough, we can make a payment arrangement. We work with you. No one in this county should lose their property foreclosure because we have Treasurer Eric Sabree working with us and you all as well to make sure that you don't lose your property. So thank you again to everyone. I'm so glad to be back. And just check in your community. You know, you can look at the houses where people don't live and also our seniors, look out for our seniors. But I just want to share with you some totals. Today, we have over 5,000 people that have applied for the MyHab program. And just for taxes alone, we have between 11 and $13 million that have been applied on back taxes and saving people's property. So thank you all. Stay blessed, stay safe, and you did an excellent job. I'm so glad you're here to share that information with us because I can say for the first time in my life, I'm concerned out on the street, whether it's daytime or in the evening. And thank God we have the police department, the sheriff's department, and even our state police patrol that are here to protect us. So look out for your neighbors. You know, if you know people come home late at night, when they come in, because as I said, this is the first time in my life I've had any bit of fear, but that, thank God I have the pastor that says, fear be gone. And if you believe and have faith, then you will all be covered. Thank you, everybody.
But before you start real quick, I have a question for you, Dr. Douglas. I heard, and you tell me if I heard wrong, that there's a drug out that doesn't work with Narcan.
Yes,
Is that true?
right. This is veterinary medicine that has hit the street. And what it does, it sedates you, but, and it may have the appearance that the person may be in an opioid overdose, but since it's not an opioid, it is not responsive to the opioids.
That's Xyloplan?
Yes.
So-called trank on the street.
Right, and it's hitting our streets. And if the person has taken an opioid and the trank, Narcan will impact the opioid and bring them out of the overdose, but the trank, depending on how much it can be deadly as well, but it's not responsive to.
They're using it trying to mix in with the, to like stretch, you know, and stretch, okay, and stretching the fentanyl with the train.
And as the U.S. Attorney said, the fentanyl is in cocaine, it's in meth, we found it in marijuana. It is not something to play with right now.
And also, we need to say Lawrence also. One of the side effects of the trank, it actually destroys the tissue.
You should just look it up and you'll see, I mean, it's just like.
And it's sedatives that have been used in horses, and because it's not a scheduled drug.
That's right.
They're getting it off the internet. Most of the drugs are coming off the internet. Number one place Number one place kids are getting drugs, and those one pill can kill, is social media. They're not even Black winners.
So one thing, and I just gotta say this, like, if you guys have kids, grandkids, please share with them. Do not eat candy from other kids. Do not eat any snacks or anything like that, because they got all this stuff, like Dr. Dudley has been saying, that looks like candy. And I know we used to share back in the days. Tell your kids, don't share. If they eat some candy or something like that, make sure you buy it for them from a store, an actual store, because this stuff looks just like real candy packets, like Skittles or Lifesavers, all that kind of stuff. And it's all edibles and other stuff. So please.
Like that, so it's now regulation in school, I forgot where it was, where those kids got sick.
It's, the packaging was, it looks like it was a Skittles package, and but it wasn't, but it had, medical on it, but not in big enough letters, or what kids would see, had the color, all the characters, all
The whole design, yeah.
looked like a package of gummy bears.
Yeah, we.
Kids got sick from the edibles, and at that point, we thought it was just THC. We don't know what's in this crap we're putting in there.
Thank you for that, thank you for hearing that. Okay, I'm sorry about that.
No, that's fine. I'm going forward. Good evening, 11th Precinct. My name is Kenneth. As always, I bring you greetings. Your councilman, Coleman Young, the second, he's councilman at large, so we do represent the whole city. Councilman is vice chair of budget with Councilman Durham, they chair those two committees. Councilman is the chair of neighborhoods, recreation, and neighborhood services, which a lot of our parks, we just got done with the budget. We still have to send that over to the mayor. He gets the chance to veto ETC, but a lot of changes coming in the parks this year. Their budget money try to increase, the activities at the park, as well as spruce them up with decoration and chief. I don't know if you captain, you all have to take over your parks, right?
Yes.
And that's the other thing. Neighborhood police officers, ETC, they used to have a park squad, but now each precinct will be responsible for patrolling their park. I just want to put that out. And one other thing, we're talking about all this crime. Please sign up with the city. We got jobs for days. People been out of work over 6 months, ETC. It's any program, any job that you think of that you can need, we have these here. You gotta start putting a lot of our people back to work. Coleman Young, senior often stated, no problem, a good paying job can fix. We see that in the city of Detroit. We come out of this COVID, but no one has went back to work. So if you could please, I'm gonna leave my number for everyone. Anybody need a job, you call me. 313. 480-4985. We have to take advantage of all these programs. I'm gonna say it again. Everybody not getting stuff fast. 313-480-4985. And also it's a quick number. Just don't repeat it for people that's on Zoom and not in here to get this pamphlet. It's the Detroit's at Work. That number is 313-962 WORK, which stands for 9675. And that'd be 313-962-9675. We got employment all throughout the city. All our departments are lacking. Anyone need a job, you can call me. We have skilled trades programs. We have apprenticeship programs. We built a new carpenters and millwrights facility. It's right there on Grand River. Go learn plumbing, carpentry, electrical, all these big projects. A lot of people upset with that. The council approved the district Detroit, ETC, all that's for development. That's all the construction things that's going around. But I have to throw one thing out. Can't test positive for marijuana. That's the key. Maybe that's why they not coming. And that's the key. We got to know that marijuana, that marijuana will keep people good paying jobs. They said most of these start at 70,000. You want to say something? Yeah, everybody while talking, just raise your hand.
I got a question for you, and it relates to the property right here on Nevada, just across the street from the precinct, land bank property. And I know right before COVID, we kind of entertained, it's right here, right across the street from the precinct. Yeah, we kind of entertained, I think it's like 5,100 or something like that. I mean, 5101 or whatever it would be, something like that, 5103, something. But it's like a double lot.
What are you saying?
No, I was saying the address. Yeah, so something like so. We do a lot of stuff in the community, and some years right before COVID, we were trying to entertain the possibility of turning that area into like a pocket park or something like that, because it's city property, it's owned by the city, and that gives us the opportunity to like we had some ideas for like a little garden, and as well as like a band shell or something like that, so that we could utilize that to activate the space. It's in a historic area. We do a lot of things with the community, and we can bring a lot of things to the community.
So you got pushback? What happened?
So COVID happened.
Oh, so since COVID, you have
So yeah, and we had like then some people within the city from planning and development, and they kind of had the idea, I think the city did, of trying to use that property because it's commercial property, it's considered commercial area, and so we just had to get a little more weight behind it. And so seeing that you're here and you guys, offer that up, and I'm sure I'm speaking for everybody over here, we would love to see that space activated into something real nice. Matter of fact, yeah, because we met with them a few times, didn't we, Kel? Yeah.
You said some key stuff. Is what is it zoned for? So I would have to investigate that. I'm gonna give it the.
Well, you guys could change the zoning, right? All it takes is some votes, right? Well, city council, I mean, hey.
Oh, but yes, if you need to get it rezoned, ETC, we'll start with the land bank. I'll get with them in the morning, I'll sit down and discuss with her. You my contact person?
Yeah, I can be.
Because they generally, they ask for a community.
You got a community president right there.
Yeah.
You got a community president.
They generally want a community. Yeah. Say you all have an idea for that problem. Yeah.
We'll do security.
Are you saying 11th Precinct, community relations? Yeah. I don't know how that, but we'll see. Yeah. It has to be like a block club or community.
That's what y'all become a block club. Don't worry about it. I'll get it done.
I'll get this land bank. So I mean, it's really all I have. Probably next month, we'll get the councilman out here to speak for themselves. Okay. Generally, all of the city, more than him, call me. Everybody got my number, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Got your
Tennis.
Kenneth Johnson.
Ill, they don't like that ill, but it's Tennis Johnson Ill. I am a boy.
I have a question, Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
You
I don't leave
mentioned,
that ill. Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
that's
you
right.
go ahead. Because I would have to get Commissioner Banks up here, we running past our time.
All right, you mentioned, the apprenticeship school over on Grand River.
Yeah.
So I took some, I went over to inquire because there were some, young guys at the church that had put in applications over there, never heard from them. So I went over and talked to the lady at the front desk, and she told me that things were slow in Detroit and they were laying the students off. Okay, so is there any way you can check on that, see if they're hiring, because there's a lot of. Okay.
Yeah, you said, yeah. Give me their name. I think, what you just called me, when you texted me, you copy my number?
I got your number. I think I've got the young fella going on with them. I'll give him his. Yeah. I appreciate it. I appreciate
Uh, yeah.
Okay, come on, make it quick.
Yes, we'll do.
Okay. I'm sorry to rush you, but we still got a right move.
I'm just thankful for the opportunity, President Jackson.
All right.
Thanks, thanks for the opportunity. Thank you, DVD, those out in Zoom, those here in the audience, thank God for you. My name is, Detroit Police Commissioner Cedric Banks. I'm a District 3, Police Commissioner for District 3. We will be meeting this Thursday at King David Church at 6:30 p.m. Come out and meet the chief. He'll be representing the city of Detroit about crime going all around the city. He'll be breaking that down. He'll be giving out strategies and things. And it's just good. You can meet the commissioners. There's 11 commissioners that sit on the board. You can meet them as they go to work in operation. And every Thursday at 3 p.m., located at the Public Safety Building, 1301 3rd Avenue, except for the second Thursday of the month, we will be meeting right there every Thursday at the Public Safety Building. You come out and enjoy the meetings. And I just want to thank God for all the dynamite, wonderful public speakers, what we had today. We had some solid speakers that did some great presentations that went forth. And once again, I thank God for the 11th precinct. I got started here. Remember Kim about what, back in 16? Sergeant Spruce and also D-Rod and those guys helped me out. And I just thank God for that. Yeah. Thank God for the opportunity. Okay?
You got a question? You got a question?
Where is the flyer? One, you talking about one of these?
Yeah, I'm talking about meeting is gonna meet on Thursday, but we got a lot going on. It's good we got something in your hand and you can kind of, and I can send it out.
So what I'll do
I got
too,
some flyers right here.
okay,
You want flyers on some?
No.
yeah,
That King David on Thursday. That was shit.
so I'll put what I have on Facebook as well, but I'll check and see if we got some flyers though.
If you, and I think I might have a flyer. If you do, give me your email address and I'll send you one. Okay, make sure I get it before you leave.
Is everyone on social media? Like Facebook or Twitter? So we'll post that stuff, but we'll email it too.
Appreciate it. 11th Precinct fam. Y'all have and then if you ring the doorbell, if you ring the doorbell and you're online or on Zoom, You can come to the station and pick it up. I'm gonna leave it here and make sure you call the community relations office to find out when you can come and get your doorbell. You know, the number 313-596-1118. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, the first winner of the day is Miss Zelma Joyce Turner.
Yeah, she going on. There she goes. Miss Turner, take yourself off of mute.
I'm off. Yay. Thank you.
And you'll call the community relations office, and you'll be able to come and pick up your doorbell, okay? I'm gonna leave it here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, all right, next one.
It's Margaret Peterson Young.
Okay, now one more.
Mary Ann Linda. Mary Ann Linda. That was here.
Okay, I'll reach out. Okay.
Corinthia Stuckey.
Congratulations.
Okay. All right. We have this. Who brought guests with them today? Did anybody bring guests? Okay, that's on everything.
That's my guess.
Your guest, one, how many you bring? You brought, okay, one. Probably can have one, two. So here's what we're gonna So the three of you all have one. Well, you want to ring doorbell, so I have two. Okay, I'm gonna tell Stars the number. You guys gotta pick the number 1 through 10. I know, me too. I'm gonna change. Now.
Okay, and that. There's a man. Because I was gonna say something.
We're going to have another one next month. Again, for people bringing our community meeting. Please do not let this be your last meeting. We hope to keep you, interested in coming with well. Even though you can next month, but again, I'm gonna let you guys know if you send me your name, address, and a phone number, I will put you in next month raffle for a Ring doorbell. Okay? The email address is KIMJ4267@gmail.com. Okay, and our name and KIMJ 4267@gmail.com. Okay? We send you our name and. Send me an email, name, address, and phone number. I'm doing it right now. And I want people to understand, if I don't have name, address, and phone number, I'm gonna send that email back to you and ask you to complete it. And if you don't complete it, you're not gonna get it. It's not up for discussion. Okay? 3 things we ask for, because if anything comes up, we would like to just not be nosy, but you know, we just wanna know. And I think that's just fair, that you get something free. I don't think that should be an issue. Okay? And now I'm gonna stick firm to that. So send me an email. It is almost 8:20. I am so sorry for holding you guys so long, but this was such a good meeting. It was such good information. So thank you guys. So thank you.